Welcome to the first and hopefully many of the PTA debates that we're going to have over the next 20 or 30 years. I think this is the first school board candidate debate in at least 30 years. So, but thank you all for coming. So let me tell you a little bit about the format and how we're doing things here. So the candidates have made an agreement on the procedures, them and their campaign managers. So they get a 2-minute opening statement. They get 2 minutes to answer questions, each question, and then 1 minute for rebuttal. Each of the candidates has 3 yellow cards that they can use at any time for an extra minute to talk. So if they feel like they need more time, or if they want to do an additional rebuttal, they can use those. And then they have 2 minutes of closing. And the way the questions are going to be asked is fantastic. So each one of them have chosen 2 representatives from their campaign or from their support to choose from the questions that you submitted to ask to their opponent. So the questions that are coming are your questions screened by Maynard's representatives to ask to JoDee. Right? That way the PTA doesn't get in trouble for asking the wrong questions. JoDee has also gotten 2 representatives to screen the questions and turn around and give those to Maynard. So we are extremely excited that you guys are here. This is fantastic. It's being put on by the PTA, so it's a little, we're all volunteers here. We're the same organization that does Red Ribbon Week and the anti-drugs and anti-pornography education and literacy and carnivals and all sorts of things. So we're really excited to be able to host this event. And with us tonight to ask the questions are these fine young men and women from Lake Ridge and Mountain View. So give them all a hand. So it's fantastic. And then Brenda and I are going to do the timing. And so Brenda is the Brenda is the president of the cluster of Mountain View and all of the elementary schools for the PTA, and I'm the legislative chair for the Mountain View cluster. And we are really excited. And we just want to let you know that there's some other rules, and we want you to act with decorum and respect. And those of you who know me know that I haven't always done that. There's things I'm very ashamed of, and there's some things I'm proud of. But in this arena, we want to try to maintain some calm, and we want to give the time for the candidates to talk to and with each other. And so we want you to refrain from any cheering, any jeering, any clapping. And this is something that both the candidates have asked for, so you need to know that. They don't want anybody doing hand signals or jingling keys, because we're short on time, and we really came here to listen to them too. And but at the end of the debate, you guys can clap and cheer and whatever you'd like. Is that something that you guys also would agree to by the raise of hands? Great. Okay. And we're going to ask if we can go 15 minutes late, since we're 15 minutes late now. Is that okay? You guys okay with that? 8:15? Okay. Great. So we're going to have Brenda say the prayer, then we're going to do a pledge, and then we're going to turn the time to the candidates and the students to do their thing. Pardon? Oh, yeah. Please turn your phone off. I mean, mute them. You don't have to turn them off, but you can mute them, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Fantastic. So, we got to get the questions. Are you ready back there? We have a lot of questions. Are we ready? They're not quite ready. Hold on. Okay. Are you guys ready over here? All right. Yep. So I feel like a magician. So we're going to start by giving the candidates 2 minutes, and then I'm going to be, I don't want to interfere with that, so give me just a second to explain. So you 3 are going to ask questions to Maynard. And you three are going to ask questions to JoDee. How's that sound? That sound good? So, these are for... So, you start with number 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Yeah, so well, you can, the three of you guys can divide those up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if we get to that. So, and there's 1 and 2. And so, have you decided what you're going to do there with those? All right. Awesome. Okay, so yellow card is 30 seconds, and red card means you're done. And you can all follow along on your phones if you like. So we're going to turn the time over to, who wants to go first? Let's have Maynard go first, unless you choose to have JoDee go first. It doesn't matter to me.
So are we going to ask a question?
We're going to do a 2-minute intro. Sorry, 2-minute intro because we're stalling a little bit for time because there's questions still being.
I'm Maynard Olsen. I'm Maynard Olsen. I'm a medical doctor. I live and work here in Orem. Was begged by many people to run in the school board election, and I'm excited to do so. I was on a school board in San Diego, California for 8 years. The president of the board through 4 of those years. It was an interesting experience. I'm very much in favor of teachers and allowing them to teach in the very best way that they can. I'm very interested in students, allowing them to learn in the very best way that they can, whether that's some very patient teaching to help with them with their dyslexia, or somebody that just gets out of their way and lets them tear down the educational process road to learn all that they can learn. I have 12 children, and some of them seem to be born learning calculus, and others struggle to learn things less complicated than calculus. But it's great to be their dad. I've been very interested in their education and encourage them to get the most rigorous education that they can get. I've had a lot of experience in multiple leadership positions. In San Diego, I was the chief of the medical staff of a 400-bed hospital. That would be about 2 or 3 times as big as Utah Valley Hospital, and enjoyed those experiences. And I guess my time is getting close. And so I am excited to be here today and to talk about hopefully some issues that will ring dear to you. I'm grateful for this opportunity. I thank you. When I ran the first time for the school board, I went to the school board offices and I said, does anybody want to know what I care about, what I'm interested in? They said, oh no, we'll get you at the League of Women Voters debate. And I went to the League of Women Voters debate, and half the audience were my kids. So I'm glad to see you here tonight.
Thank you. I'm grateful for this opportunity to be with you tonight. And I too want to say thank you so much for being here. This is really a tremendous thing to have you here and to participate in this debate. I want to thank the PTA for hosting this and having the foresight to do so. And I wanted to let you know that I have been a PTA member for 29 years. And currently I am a PTA member. And this is an important group to the district to involve our parents in many aspects and many good things that happen in our classrooms. I also wanted to thank our students that are here tonight. They're taking time out of their busy schedule to have this experience and opportunity. They come from our great high school, Mountain View High School, and I appreciate the time that they have in being here. I've lived in Orem for 33 years and have raised 4 children here, all of which attended and graduated from our local schools here. Now I have 12 grandchildren, and 7 of them are in our local Alpine School District schools. So I have a real vested interest in what is happening in the schools. But besides that, I have a passion for public education and for making sure that our students have all of the opportunities possible to help them become with their parents, to help them become an educated citizenry. When they graduate from our schools, that they will be able to move into a college experience or a career experience and be able to contribute to our communities. And that is the purpose of public education, and I'm grateful to be a part of it. I look for many good things that we do in this district. This is the premier district of the state, Alpine School District. It is also the largest district in this state. And it is also the lowest funded district in this state. So, stop. Thank you for being here.
So let's have the first question for you. Oh, I got my phone. All right, hold on.
Okay, JoDee has a school board history that is open for public view. During the time of your public school history in California, there were layoffs, contention, disruption, low morale, and disrespect for parent input. You said that if you could get the majority of people on board like yourself, there would be a lot of changes. What specific changes would that be? And would they align with the philosophy of Oak Norton and Hans Andersen, who endorse you? To repeat the question, JoDee has a school board history that is open for public view. During the time of your public school history in California, there were layoffs, contention, disruption, low morale, and disrespect for parent input. You said that if you could get a majority of people on the board like yourself, there would be a lot of changes. What specific changes would that be? And would they align with the philosophy of Oak Norton and Hans Andersen, who endorse you?
Thank you for that question. In San Diego, the school board had been run by appointees of the teachers union. Now when I use that, I'm not opposed to teachers at all, but I am opposed to some of the tactics of teachers unions, especially the NEA, the National Education Association, which is their biggest union. And so when they did not have a majority of the votes they needed to do whatever they wanted, they had some very difficult times. I do not know of any layoffs that took place in the district. Somebody has brought up that there was an article in the San Diego Union that said I made people stand out in the rain because I changed a meeting or something. Apparently Alpine School District never changes its venue, and no one is ever not listened to. I have not been rude or unkind to anybody that I know of. On our school board, there were two people who absolutely hated the other two people on the school board. There were 5 of us. I was the only one that could talk to both groups. That's why I got to be president so many times, is because they couldn't stand each other. And so, contention, absolutely. There was tons of contention. Not by my making. If anything, I was the oil on the troubled waters that tried to help that situation be better. I also have a school board. You're welcome to look up the minutes of our school board. They're televised if you want to see them on television.
Okay, I appreciate how hard it is to defend some things that you do as a school board member. And I too have received a lot of the information that my opponent's time on the school board. And so I need to ask the question to myself, with this contention with the disruption with principals leaving, how will this affect his time on the board if he becomes a school board member in a highly functioning, very, very profound district that is very proficient and one of the best districts of this state.
This is for candidate Sundberg. What is your fiscal philosophy? In the past 16 years, Alpine School District has spent $5 billion and not once did you vote against a budget item. To repeat the question, what is your fiscal philosophy? In the past 16 years, Alpine School District has spent $5 billion and not once did you vote against a budget item.
Alpine School District
$5 billion.
Thank you for that question. I am a very conservative fiscal school board member. We look at all of the different issues, what is going on with the district, with our funding. As I told you before, that Alpine School District is the lowest funded district in this state. As we work with our budget, I was able to hire a business administrator who is extremely conservative and fiscally sound. That's why we receive awards every year for how well we do as a district. We budget our money and are able to do more things with the dollars that we have. We put them into our classrooms. Did you know that 70% of 70 cents of every dollar that we spend goes into instruction? Actually, 72 cents of every dollar that we spend in our budget goes to instruction in the classroom. Did you know that less than a half of a penny to every dollar goes to district administration costs? We are all about putting dollars into our teachers, into the classrooms, into the tools that will help our teachers teach. That's where our dollars are invested. We also have transportation dollars and our administrative dollars in the school, but 72% of our dollars goes into classroom instruction. Did you know, by the Taxpayers Association, that is the highest percentage of any district in this state, and the less than half penny per dollar is the lowest per pupil to administrative cost of any district in this state.
I get a minute. If you're fiscally conservative, I would hate to see what somebody who wasn't would do on the board, since you voted for every increase of salaries of all of the administrators. You voted for bond measures every time those have come up. Most of you probably know that 70% of your property tax goes to the Alpine School District. It's maxed out, taxed out, has nowhere more to go. That 100% almost of your state income tax goes to the Alpine School District. So this is real money from real people. From real people. We have the highest percentage of administrators in the state that make over $100,000. Our state, our administrator makes more than twice what the governor or a state senator makes. So if you're fiscally conservative, heaven help us if we have somebody else.
So do I get a minute? Okay, 1 minute.
So he should have been able to get a minute the last time. So you're going to get that.
Shut up.
Okay, starting. And thank you for bringing that up with the percentage for our superintendent and other administrators in our district. By the way, we don't have more than any other district in this state. But it is very important to note that because we are so sound as a district and accomplishing so many things as a district, we are grateful for an administrative team that can help us to achieve those kinds of things. And we look forward to all of the continuous improvement that we will have. When you talk about the governor, I smile at that because we have a superintendent that has his PhD in education, a governor who is an elected official, which, by the way, 15 of his employees in his office make more than he does. Thank you.
Dr. Olsen, your campaign slogan says you are running to be a new voice on the school board. Yet, when you were on the school board in California, and parents and citizens were left out in the rain at the school board meeting because the board meeting moved to a smaller location, you said, "To me it's no big deal. I have not lost 1 second sleep over it." And said, "I personally don't feel it's necessary that everybody who has a whim can have a seat. Please explain now how that is representing my voice." Let me repeat it one more time. Your campaign slogan says you are running to be a new voice on the school board. Yet, when you were on the board in California and parents and citizens were left out in the rain at the school board meeting because the board meeting moved to a smaller location, you said, "To me it's no big deal. I have not lost 1 second sleep over it." And I said, "I personally don't feel it's necessary that everybody who has a whim can have a seat. Please explain how that is representing my voice."
Well, I guess to answer that question, I appreciate it. When our school district had 3 members that weren't in aligned with the teachers union, the NEA from Washington sent out very highly paid Washington lobbyists to come out to our San Diego district and change things. And instantly they were able to get the newspaper that had never attended a school board meeting ever to come and be all suddenly concerned about everything. Somehow they had the ability to get the TV to go with them in the way that they were going. So after a meeting, I might be interviewed by this reporter and would look for the story the next day and find that everything had been changed and that definite falsehoods were done. So if all of you can remember what you were doing 20 years ago on a Tuesday night, please stand up and tell us. I can't. We met in our cafeteria of our school, where the school district was, and it held about 500 people. Occasionally, it had more people than 500 come out and be there to participate in things. I don't remember this incident at all, but it certainly is not my mission to offend anybody, to cut them off, or to not listen to them. I was always given the most sensitive matters to talk to parents about in our district because I was the one that was the most peaceful and the most able to calm difficult spirits.
I think the way I would like to rebut this question is not to my opponent, but to share with you what my value system is with parent involvement. I value our parents in our schools and in our community. And because of that, I have put together or had a greater role in making sure that these different things happen. School community councils, our district community council, which is, no, I have a past minute. Our district community council, which was the first one in this state to have a district community council, student-led conferences, flex programs with parent involvement, trust lands financial administration by parents, parent focus groups, parental surveys, teacher accountability to parents group, curriculum decision-making, district safety committee, administration and principal selection committee. We value the voice of our parents.
question is for candidate Sundberg. Why did you vote to support the Gay Lesbian Alliance Club without restrictions, even though it goes against state values? 1.5 years ago, after AFHS, and just a few weeks ago, after another high school. To repeat the question, why did you vote to support the Gay Lesbian Alliance Club without restriction, even though it goes against state values? 1.5 years ago, after American Fork High School, and just a few weeks ago, after another high school.
Thank you for that question. You know, that's a very important subject that it needs to be discussed. We look at the conservative values in our community and how we reach to our all of the people that live in our community. I think we've just been instructed by, well, I have just been instructed by those of my faith to show civility and to help understand the needs of all people and to be able to accommodate some of the things that they're reaching for. In our schools, we have many varied clubs that are done every year. It was last year, actually, that we voted to support the clubs for American Fork High School, one of which was the Gay Straight Alliance Club. This club has articles written about it and has been a service-oriented club this last year. It's also been a club that's embraced all students to come in and to feel less bullied. 2 high schools applied for that, as well as many other clubs in all of our other high schools to be approved, and they went through the correct processes. Every club has an advisor over them. There are strict rules and things that they must follow as part of these clubs, and a parent signature must follow the student being involved in this club. They cannot join any club without a parent signature. So I am grateful for the opportunity that I have to keep my conservative values and reach out to those who may need extra care and support in our schools, because we're about educating all students.
Sometimes we are very much for marriage between a man and a woman, and that law is struck down in a way we're not happy with. And Elder Oaks asked us to be civil as we see that. What bothers me about our last vote was that members of the board in the minority asked that they have an opportunity to consult legal counsel about the ability of this club to exist and what our options were, and they were dismissed by the incumbent as having no need to ask such a question.
And the rest of that story. Legal counsel was sought last year when the application was made for the American Fork High School Gay Straight Alliance Club. We made sure that we had that legal counsel for those same questions this time. It was the same questions about the name Gay Straight Alliance. The actual conversation never really talked about, with our board, never really talked about the Gay Straight Alliance Club, but some other clubs perhaps that we needed to have further discussion about. The only thing that came out about the Gay Straight Alliance Club was that it would be called the Warm and Fuzzy Club or the Safe Haven Club. And a board member stated that if a parent was going to have a signature for their student to participate in a club, that we needed to be transparent and let it be known that it was the Gay Straight Alliance, not the Warm and Fuzzy Club.
According to the San Diego Union Tribune, during your audit, during your term, the district was found to have lax business practice, including significant budget shortfalls and inaccurate accounting. Why should we trust you to manage the best fiscal managed district in the state? Let me repeat the question. According to the San Diego Union Tribune, During an audit during your term, the district was found to have lax business practice, including significant budget shortfalls and inaccurate accounting. Why should we trust you to manage the best fiscal managed district in the state?
That is the function of an audit, is to come into your school district and to audit you and to find out where you are deficient and what you need to do to be more efficient. Unfortunately, our financial administrator in the district left without giving anybody his address or forwarding address with $100,000 of district money, and it was gone. Did I encourage him to go? No, I didn't. But he left anyway. And we hired auditors on a routine basis to come look over our books and to help us find errors that we may have made and to keep them as they should be kept.
As I talked about before, being fiscally conservative in our district, it is very important that you put together a very wise budget department where this business department can look at all aspects. They have checks and balances. They can go over all of the items, and then they need to report to the board, to the superintendent, where these dollars are being spent. Very accountable to the board, very accountable to the superintendent, and also very accountable to the people. You can get on our website at any time and look at our budget and where the dollars are spent. It is easily accessible to you. So putting together a fiscally conservative business department that handles our budget allows us to be the best fiscally managed district in the state.
My question for candidate Sundberg is, did you support the $44 million tax loss for ASD? If so, why? To repeat it is, did you support the $44 million tax loss for ASD? If so, why?
Thank you for that question. I think that the $44 million for the CDA is what they're talking about for University Place, in case you're wondering. Actually, no, we have not had a vote on that yet. We have asked our business department, again, working with Orem City and the other taxing entities, to put numbers together for us so that we can look at what are the best benefits, how can we be most fiscally responsible with this, and yet bring back tax dollars to our students, the property tax dollars, more quickly. I would never, let me just reiterate this, never support $44 million being handed over to any entity of any sort. Our dollars are very precious to us, and you will not see $44 million of our current tax money being handed over to anyone. What we are looking at is to see what future property tax dollars can bring to our district, and if partnering would allow these dollars to come quickly and to come in a higher range, more dollars than if we did not participate. That's what we are looking at. It is important to know that we have many numbers that we're crunching, many people that are looking at this. In November, we will have it presented to us by our business department, and then we will look as a board to what are the benefits, how will it help the children of Alpine School District while being fiscally responsible to our taxpayers.
I'm a business owner in Orem, and I am very much not in favor of giving away many $1 million in tax revenues to the wealthiest company in Orem. There is no business for Orem to continually be as reckless as it has been with its multiple interventions into trying to build whatever you'd want to call it, a Camelot here. And certainly if you've driven by our mall, you'll see that it is packed, that there's hardly any room you can walk down the corridors in our mall. Now, I must admit I seldom go there except for cinnamon buns and See's chocolates, which I can't have only every 5 years. So I am very opposed to giving tax dollars from our school district to wealthy corporations so they can make more money. And you might crunch numbers and say, well, it comes back, we made more money. You'd make more money anyway. If this is a good proposition, the company will go forward and build the mall. If it's bad business, we don't need to subsidize them.
I think what I want you to know about me is that I have been involved in the schools and in our community for my tenure on the school board. I know what's going on in the schools. I visit with my students and with the teachers, and I understand the processes. I help determine the collaborative effort, Collaboration Day, that we have given our teachers every Monday to collaborate. We follow professional learning communities in our school. That's the culture we live in. That's why we can do some of the amazing things that we do. We are about continuous progress, continuous improvement in improving the best managed district in this state. Do you know that our scores for graduation rate this year are over 90+%? Mountain View's graduation rate, 90%. That is an amazing thing that has happened to us, especially when I came on the board and we were at 72% graduation. So we are doing great things. You look at this school right here. It just won the Blue Ribbon Award, a spectacular award for academic excellence. And this is our highest number diversity school in the district. We have more numbers of diversity than any other school in this district. Our highest percentage, Orem Junior. They are doing amazing things and closing that achievement gap. They had Principal of the Year awards. All of our Title I schools, 5 of my 6 elementary schools in my area are Title I schools, and they are achieving great success. Your vote will make this continue. Thank you.
Almost all of my questions had to do with an article in a newspaper 20 years ago about making people stand out in the rain. I hope you vote for me. I can single-handedly solve Utah's drought. If every board meeting people are standing in the rain, we will do very, very well. I am conservative in my values and in what I believe. I believe that we in Utah County are conservative and would like to stay that way. We have adopted Common Core in our district and in our state. The Attorney General for the state says that each district is free to choose or not to choose Common Core. Some people have said Common Core is really local government. Ask Oklahoma how they feel about the local government they have with Common Core. So Common Core gave away waivers for No Child Left Behind and had other bribes intended. And when Oklahoma pulled out, they said, sorry, you need to reimburse us for all of that No Child Left Behind money that we're not going to give you and you can't have. So we do have the opportunity to have local governance and local control in our school boards. We simply are not taking it. I hope that you will choose someone who will listen to you and will give you local governments. Thank you. 30 seconds of applause, please.
Thank you all for coming. This was quite interesting and informative. And so there were other questions that were prepared that didn't get asked. I don't know what to do with them. We have more time. Yeah. So,
we have more time. Let's ask questions.
Well, you have time to come down here and you guys can mingle for a little bit longer. But thank you all for coming out and supporting the PTA and getting to know the candidates, and please go vote.